We're here.
We're here.
Finally here.
Take a look at the rugged view. These forts are amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is worth it.
Wow.
Oh.
This is amazing.
We're here.
Marley, we did it. We did it. We got to the most easterly part of Canada.
I'm Marley.
And I'm Morella.
And we're the
Tailblazers.
We're out here on the road in Newfoundland and Labrador in search of stories. A place where there's a story around every single corner.
This week, we're in the capital city of St. John's, one of the most colorful cities in North America, a city that's filled with art, food, music, culture, and with any luck, a tale or two. Let's go story hunting. Wow, this is amazing.
Gorgeous. Look at that.
Hi, hi, welcome.
Morella.
Hi,
Chris,
Morella.
Marley, good to
Hi,
meet
Marley,
you.
Chris, nice to meet
Yeah.
you both.
Okay,
Come on
Yeah,
in.
look at there it is, the original lighthouse.
The
That's it.
house and the light.
And the lights. You have the
The
dome at the
lighthouse.
top.
Chris, this place is unbelievable.
Totally
Great, thanks.
Unbelievable. Wow.
I love this. This is, and you're saying 80% of it is authentic.
Yeah, about that. You know, particularly the larger planks. You can tell that those are from this 1830 time period.
1830. So who were the first people here in this lighthouse?
So the first keeper, the light starts operation 1836, and the first keeper is a man called Emmanuel Ware. He's a Scot. He's here for about 10 years, and we actually know very little about him.
Yeah, but we heard about these Cantwells that were given this place as a gift or something. What's that story?
So that's the longer story. This story has some complexity. Prince Hendrik the Seafarer is a prince from the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And he visits here the tail end of 1845. And James
Royal
Cantwell,
visit.
yes, a very exciting royal visit.
Wow.
And James Cantwell at the time is working as a harbor pilot. So James goes out to retrieve Prince Hendrik and his vessel to navigate in the thickest
Good
of
job.
fog. And about a week later, he offers to James a thank you. What would you like? And James, bobbing around out there on Prince Hendrik's vessel, out in St. John's Bay, points at the 1836 lighthouse and says, I would like to be the keeper of the lighthouse. So out comes the plume, and a royal decree is written by Prince Hendrik the Seafarer, who gives to James Cantwell the keepership for he and his kin in perpetuity.
It's a nice lighthouse, but that's what he asked for.
That's what he
it?
asked for. I guess he
That's
was
it?
done of going out on the water. He wanted
Wow.
a solid, well-paying,
Not
respectable
that
job.
big treasure chest full of like gold and doubloons.
Guess he
and-
couldn't dream that
Wow.
big. But
Wow.
it does turn out to be quite the treasure.
Well, it is. It is pretty nice. So,
And the job then passes through his family, James Cantwell's family, for 5 generations after this decree.
wow.
Right until
Join the
1990.
circus. I don't understand. Like what happens?
Well, it
then?
might have been a little bit of a
I don't wanna be in
circus
that
here
damn isolated
at the lighthouse.
Yeah,
Now, let's keep in mind that this is a myth.
No.
Well, the letter exists, but it's more a letter of recommendation. And after the current lighthouse keeper who was working here dies in 36, Cantwell gets the job. But this story is such a sort of lovely folkloric sidebar to the history we with Parks Canada share
But they
here.
did have 5 generations
They did,
here.
and you can see why that myth would be
Yeah.
upholded.
And it's
that is an
beautiful.
epic length of father to son to brother to father of maintaining this light here.
Amazing. What are the mattresses made out of?
It's actually a corded bed. Look at this. See?
Oh my goodness.
Sleep tight. Yeah, you tighten the rope
that where
before
that
you sleep
came
so you
from?
can sleep comfortably. Sleep tight.
Oh.
I like it.
Okay, there you go. Now bring them up the stove. Oh,
Up those hills?
oh, come on, Mary. We need some water.
Oh, Paul.
Bring those up. There you go. Oh, sploosh, sploosh. Oh no, sploosh.
The wind.
Oh, now. Back down to get more water for me.
This has been amazing. Thank you so much for giving us all of this information and a tour of this incredible place.
Yes.
Well, what a pleasure to
And
have
it's,
you
it's
folks
just like
here.
it was.
Thanks for coming.
love it.
Well,
Thank
I'm
you
glad
so
you can
much.
imagine yourself now in 1840 here
Yeah,
in Case Fear
totally.
Lighthouse.
So what did you think of that lighthouse?
That was really fun. Chris was fun.
Wasn't he the best?
Yeah, he was. And I liked playing with the little water.
Oh, yeah, you're
That was fun.
Yeah.
And
imagine
the
kids
story
like that.
about that family, 5 generations.
That is so weird to me. You can have anything in the world you want. I just want to live isolated.
That lighthouse
I
there.
want that for the rest of my life. But it was fabulous. That was
So
just
fancy.
such a beautiful spot. Okay,
But-
so now I want to
Okay.
discuss this whole mine thing with you.
Yeah, because we're going to look at where they went to work. I imagine there's a lot of stories about that.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be, I mean, hopefully no tragedies, because you understand that I am claustrophobic, right?
You are going to be just fine because they're going to give you like a hard hat with the little lappy thing
I'm
on
getting a bit
it.
itchy just thinking about it. My blood pressure's going up. So this is Bell Island.
Beautiful.
Wow.
And we're going to the mine.
Yeah. We're gonna go to the mine for you because you've been harping
Yes,
about this
that's
mine
right.
the entire time. Yeah. Look at these cliffs. This is amazing.
Wow.
Like they just cut right off.
Wow, this is a beautiful museum.
amazing.
Look at all these wonderful photos of these miners.
I love it. Oh, hey, hi.
Hi, my name is Fox. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Fox and
Marilla.
Marley.
Hi,
Good to
Marilla.
meet
How are
you.
you, Marley?
Fantastic. Well, tell us a little bit about this museum, which just looks amazing.
This museum is all full of artifacts from mining from 1902 until 1966.
Okay.
Great. Well, take us to the escalator.
Yes,
Let's go.
absolute
Follow me.
escalator.
There's no escalator. What?
All right, let's go. I'm ready.
We got this, honey.
I got this. I can do this. It's in my blood.
You don't need those pickaxes.
Oh, well, I thought we're going to be doing some mining.
This is not a working tour.
Well,
That's what you
Watch
think.
your steps.
So, Fox, how many hours would these guys work a day?
These mines right here, 10 hours a day.
Really? Underground like this?
10 hours a day, 6 days a week.
So how much daylight would they see?
You would never hardly see daylight. The only time these miners worked ever see daylight was on a Sunday.
and right now we are going to go where it's dark, 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 where no light shines.
Very dark. These mines were never ever modernized, so there was never no electricity in these mines.
Listen, Fox, how did they know that there was iron on this island?
Well, fishermen would use it. They found the red rock, and they would use it for ballast in their boats when they came across here.
Fishermen discovered the ore.
yes.
About
No, just-
when? When
just
would that have happened? What?
in the early 1800s.
Wow.
Incredible. Now, why does it look like that? Why is it all jagged like this?
Well, this is how they would mine in these mines right here. They would drill into the walls, into the iron ore. And
With
when
what?
when they would blast it out with dynamite,
Yeah.
air drills and dynamite, when they would blast it out, it would all fall in sheets.
So
of
it's
course-
like
Picked it
slates.
up like it's pennies from heaven.
There's pennies from heaven, and because they only made 10 cents an hour while they worked in these mines, so it really was pennies.
10 cents an hour. Oh my gosh. So can I see iron ore here right now?
All iron ore. Everything you
Well,
see.
this whole thing is.
Everything you
Okay.
see vertically going up, it's all iron ore. Everything. There's a layer of rock going horizontal. That's the rock that lays between the two sediments.
Well, how
okay.
how many people would work a shift in here?
And this, all the mines together was approximately about 2,200 people on the ground at one time.
What was life like? What would work like down here be? Could I handle it?
No, you couldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Thanks.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Now, I just have to use the powder room. Could you just direct me to where I would? This is
Pick
it?
a spot.
Oh,
Just right here, right?
It's everywhere.
listen, you know what? I think I could live here.
Seriously.
I would like
Seriously?
this. It's nice and cool, and it's actually it's very chic.
It's very cool. 6
I would
degrees here
have
all
to-
year long.
Right.
Yeah,
it's got
right?
an
It's-
industrial look to it.
Right, and that's really in.
So what
And there's-
would you do?
Well, I like some of the purple. I would keep some of the purple, but I think up top I would like to put
Red.
I was gonna say,
mirrors.
a skylight would be
Yeah.
nice.
No, you can't have a skylight because then I like to keep the ambiance all closed and cozy.
Right.
Drapes.
Yeah.
Okay. some
And we
drapes would
definitely
be
need to take
nice.
out this wall and open
Hey,
up
you
the
seriously thinking about moving down here?
Yeah.
The girls right here, those three-sided shacks you see right here, always built into the face of the ore. The only thing that was ever kept in this was the lunch boxes belonged to the miners. Of course, where they would bring down bottles of tea.
Tea.
They would heat, yes, tea.
Tea.
Real tea.
Yeah.
Of course, this was the old famous screech bottle.
Ooh.
I'm not suggesting that anybody drank liquor down these
No.
mines.
Of course not.
This was an amazing tour and so awesome. A place, perfect temperature.
Yeah, that's true. I love
so
that.
many ideas going in my mind.
You should call a real estate agent, see if you can start
Don't
Absolutely.
bother, I'm a real estate agent.
You're a real estate agent?
Yes.
This could be the start of a beautiful friendship, Fox.
Yes.
Absolutely. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this is, I love the people here too. Like
They
everybody
are.
is
They're
so
super.
sweet and so friendly, and everyone has such a great sense of humor.
Yeah. So where are we off to now?
Now we're going to Signal Hill,
Signal.
and we're going to talk about, there's going to be somebody there talking about Marconi.
Marconi. I'm going to check to see if he's a relative of mine. You know I'm Italian, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So everybody with an O-N-I on the end of their name
Is my relative. We're all related. We're all related. And especially if they're brilliant.
Look at this
That was
place.
awesome. Look at this.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, this is amazing.
That's
Can you
great.
imagine the story or stories that goes
Oh
behind
yeah.
this building?
If this
It's
building
gonna be
could talk,
unbelievable.
right? And
Yeah.
Hello, bonjour.
Oh, hello, bonjour.
My name's John. I work with
Hello,
Parks
John.
Canada,
Hi.
and I'll be
Excellent.
your tour guide for today.
Okay, cool.
Fabulous. And where are you touring us to?
So we're going to head straight up to the top of this tower, Cabot Tower, and we'll have a little chat about Marconi's transatlantic signal.
Oh, I bet
Let's
you've
do
got
it.
stories to tell.
yeah. Okay.
All right. So
Lead the
anything we
way.
should know about the stairs?
So the stairs are a bit narrower
Okay.
than modern stairs, so
And you're
hold on to the
gonna-
handrail, and
Be behind us to catch us?
of course.
This is what they meant. And they're curvy.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Oh wow, it's bright
this
out
is
here.
Cool. We're right at the top.
Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Well, welcome to the top of Cabot Tower, the viewing deck.
So is this where the signal would have come, like around here, like in this general area?
Yeah, so not the tower specifically, but there was a multi-level structure down at our parking lot that was a hospital that was used by Marconi to receive the signal.
And so he came over here to Newfoundland to send this first signal.
Or to receive it, yes.
Or to receive it.
Yeah. It was sent from Poldhu in England in Cornwall.
Okay, that's really cool.
And what did this mean
Yeah.
for people? Like, I mean, it was this, like, what did this break open for the world?
Well, I mean, literally, it had never been done before. So it's for the first time a radio signal was sent through the air and received. Before that, the telegraph was firmly entrenched, which is cables that were laid on the sea floor.
Right.
And it would take longer for those signals to reach. And of course, if there's any damage to the cable, you have to go and repair it or replace it.
And this was just sent through the air.
It was, yes.
And what was the first message?
It was the Morse code letter S, so it's just 3 dots.
So Marconi came over on a ship to do this thing to send to receive an S.
Yes.
He received the S here.
And then what happened?
Well, I mean, then he got a congratulations, a personal congratulations from Thomas Edison.
Well, I would hope
and,
so.
And he broke the.
A medal? Did he get a medal?
I'm not sure about a medal, but
Money?
Eventually he was
Food?
awarded the Nobel Prize for Science.
Oh, it's just
Thank goodness. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's important
Yeah.
to some people.
Those Italians like to talk.
Yeah.
Will do anything to
I've noticed.
communicate, right? That's the thing. That's
That's
the
it.
important thing to remember. Do you have like something I could like send a message out with?
Yeah, well, there's a small phone receiver downstairs that you can listen to hear the message that was sent. Yeah.
I would like that.
okay, yeah, I'd
I
like
would
to see
like
that.
that.
Yes, of
Yeah,
course.
I can hear the
Okay.
S.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay,
Let's do it.
let's
Let's do
do
it.
it.
I want to play. I want to play. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's a
yeah.
small telephone receiver, and
Okay.
when you pick it up,
Yeah.
you should hear tick, tick, tick,
Okay.
tick, tick, tick. But
Okay.
there's going to be a lot of radio
That's
static.
okay. So I'll
This is
listen
what
carefully
Marconi
now.
heard.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, oh, I hear it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm right there. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Okay, bread, sausage, and onions. Thank you.
Get a
Okay.
medium with ham and pineapple.
Right, and and a ham and pineapple medium.
Yeah, thanks.
There you go. Pizza should be here in about 35 weeks.
That.
Right?
My boat.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, paisan.
Italian.
Okay. That was a lot of fun, Signal Hill.
Oh, now
I like-
the view of St.
Oh,
John's
yeah.
from Signal Hill. Honestly, that is one
That
of
was
the most
amazing.
beautiful vistas I've ever seen.
And did you notice how that narrow is really small?
Yeah, when you actually see it from above, you go, how did they
amazing.
ever put ships through there in a fog? Yeah, just
All
pull
right.
up right here.
Here we
This
go.
is perfect.
Okay.
All
You
right.
ordered a good day, Marley.
It's beautiful. Isn't
It's
it?
just gorgeous.
I know.
Look at that.
These little cute
Okay, now are we
houses.
going to this place here?
It's this one.
Okay.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Marley.
I'm Dale. Hi.
Dale,
how are
good
you?
to
I'm
meet you.
Marilla.
I'm Marilla.
Hi.
You're going inside?
Okay,
You're
so
gonna-
we're going on the boat.
All right.
Woo, I'm not really a big boat person, but Marley will take care of
Oh,
me,
sure,
right, Marley?
I will. Oh my God, that's like 100 feet down.
Wow. Okay. All right.
No,
Channel
God.
your inner goat. There you go.
Okay.
All right. Do I have to go too?
Yeah, come on, you can do this.
Okay. All right. Ugh. You gonna catch me, Marley?
Yeah, oh sure.
It's a trust exercise. It's a trust. Oh, we did it. We did it. We did it.
All right, ladies. There you go.
Alrighty.
Do you have this in
So
like a 3X? Because this looks very small.
How elegant.
All right, you guys ready to head out?
Yeah, and we're
Yes.
kind of hoping you're going to tell us some stories, Dale.
I am.
Right.
yeah.
I hear that
Yeah.
you know a lot about the creatures out here.
We're gonna head out through, this is the gut here. We're gonna head out through the gut and then we're gonna head over towards the Narrows, which is the entrance into the St. John's Harbor. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you some stories about sea monsters and mermaids, all the strange things that lurk.
So, what happened out here that you can tell us about?
I figured this would be a good a spot as any to tell you a story about giant squid.
Ooh, yeah.
Now you may have heard of giant squid. So here's an illustration of just exactly how large they can be.
Oh my God.
You're
that's
kidding me.
So now old sailors would have called this a kraken. That was the folkloric name for it. And for a long time they were thought to be a myth. But it was here in Newfoundland that it was proven that these were actually real creatures. They'll grow up to 15, 20 meters in length. And just north of, they're pretty big, yeah. Just north of where we are is Logie Bay. And there was one of these that had washed up there. A dead giant squid, and the fishermen had cut off its head but had saved these long tentacles. But there's a much more dramatic story. If we continued up north, up around Cape St. Francis, we'd come into Conception Bay. And there, around Bell Island, there were 3 men fishing, 2 men and one of their sons. And they saw something in the water that they thought was wreckage from a ship. It looked like a mass of fabric, maybe a sail of some kind. And they had a large boat hook and they reached out to grab a hold of it to pull it in. And as they did, one giant eye opened up and looked at them.
Imagine. Oh my God.
And before they knew what was happening, giant tentacles like these had wrapped themselves around their little tiny fishing boat, much smaller than the boat we're on
Oh
now.
my gosh.
So thinking they were going to sink, one of the men grabbed out a hatchet and chopped off one of the tentacles. The beast kind of sank back underneath the water, and they returned back to Portugal Cove with this giant tentacle. And not knowing exactly what to do with it, they took it to the local Anglican minister, Moses Harvey, and he wrote it up. He photographed it. He actually hung it up in his bathtub and took a photograph of it.
Wow.
As you do.
As you do, as one would, yeah. And it was one of the very first, scientific articles that ever proved that these mythological creatures were real, happened here in Newfoundland.
Unbelievable. All right, is it time?
It's
Yeah.
time for the mermaid story.
Tell us, tell us.
Yay.
So right here is the entrance to St. John's Harbor. And this is where probably one of the more famous sightings of a mermaid was in 1610. It was an early explorer by the name of Sir Richard Whitburn. And he was in one of his ships here in the harbor. And a bunch of his men were off in smaller boats. They were taking fish onto the shore and moving back and forth. And there are several other vessels here. Whitburn was standing on the deck like we were, and he looked out and he saw this strange creature kind of swimming towards them. And as it came closer, he saw that it was like a woman. It had a woman's features, a woman's face, but instead of hair, it had long streaks of blue, something like hair running down her back. And as it came closer, it got within what he said was a pike's length, so about like 6 feet or so. He was so startled that he stepped back, and the creature dove underneath the ship, and then swam away, and then reappeared closer to a boat which was being operated by one of his men, a man by the name of Hawkridge. And this feminine, fishy creature came up to the boat and tried to climb into the little vessel. And Whitburn was still standing on his ship. He could see the back of this woman, and that she had a long, fishy tail, which he said was proportioned like a broad hooked arrow. Young Hawkridge, however, wasn't terribly enthused about having this half woman, half fish. So he took an oar from his boat and he bashed her on the head with it, and she sank down beneath the waves. But she popped up later, terrifying some of the other soldiers who beat it to shore. So this is an etching, a rather fanciful etching of St. John's Harbor, and you can see Whitburn here admiring this fishy creature.
But she just wanted to say hello. She just came
Well,
up
look at
to
her
say hello,
hand.
and then
She's like, hey guys, what's up?
oh my God.
And some guy just takes an oar and bashes her.
Bashes her.
So that's the story of Sir Richard Whitburn and his mermaid.
Wow.
Totally cool. I love this place.
So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for
That was
coming.
great, Dale.
I hope you learned something and enjoyed the stories.
I'm glad there's lycra in these pants. You can do it, baby. I gotcha.
Oh, this reminds me of PE class. Okay, we're good.
All right.
Oh,
I'm
we
exhausted.
did it.
See you later, ladies.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, Dale.
Thank you, Dale.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for the great ride. So that was just awesome. I love
That was
being out in the
wonderful.
Atlantic Ocean.
I just loved it. It
Yeah,
was,
it's
it was
beautiful.
awesome.
And I like Dale.
Yeah,
He was
Dale's
a smart
very nice.
guy. He had wonderful stories. And I
He did.
particularly like the mermaid story and the squid story.
And you see, there are mermen. Okay, we're gonna go to a place called
Kitty Vitty.
Kitty Vitta.
No, it's Kitty Vitty.
It looks really weird because when you spell it, it's the Q, and I always think of Roman
Yeah, but that's
times.
not it. Now that this guy is going to come, he's like an expert.
Okay.
He's like a linguist and folklore expert, and he's going to tell us about, you know, like the reason for the name, how it's actually supposed to be pronounced, and hopefully why. Why is it called Kitty Vitty?
Yeah.
And I've heard that the beer is fabulous.
Oh.
They've got this iceberg beer. Okay, I just want to
Okay,
say.
I like beer.
Well, and it's made from real iceberg.
Okay.
We're
so,
here.
All right. So tell me again, what's the guy's name?
Dr. Philip Hiscock.
Okay.
All right, you got that?
There we are.
Perfect.
Vita Vada Brewing Company.
No, it's not that. You say that one more time, I'm going to smack you. It's Kitty Vitty. Thanks so much for meeting us, Philip.
Yep.
Problem.
This is so great having the name expert.
Right, we're gonna grill you for names.
All right, you can
But
grill
first of all,
me.
tell us a little bit about you, so that.
Okay, well, I'm a retired professor of folklore. Before that, I was an archivist, so I spent 20 years or a little more than
Digging
20
for
years
details.
as an archivist, and then as a folklorist, another 20 years as a professor.
Awesome. So I have a question then about quiddy vitty.
Sure.
So, like, you call it
Yeah.
kitty vitty, but it looks like a Roman word. It
Sure.
looks like quitta, vini vidi veda. You know that word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here you are conquering all these
That's
pronunciation
right. I'm
problems.
trying to
Yeah.
conquer the names, conquer this
Well,
world.
you mispronounced it once.
Okay.
That was when you tried to say quid, vid, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
But you got it right the second time, kitty vitty. But there are two major pronunciations here.
Okay.
And one is quida vida, and the other is
Quida
kitty
vida.
vitty. Now, most people say kitty vitty, but some people here in St. John's and for the last 100 years have said quida vida. And there are reasons for that, but the earlier spellings of it definitely indicate something closer to kitty vitty. One of the joking explanations of it is that it comes from the name of a woman who ran a hotel.
There you go.
that makes sense.
And her name was
Kitty.
Catherine Vitty, Kitty Vitty.
Kitty Vitty,
Yeah.
see? Miss Kitty.
Okay, Miss
But
Kitty.
that's not true. Well, I don't think it's true. There's no evidence except the joking and the
right.
jokes that people make about it. The most common folk etymology for kitty vitty is that this is a line that divides something. This is nonsense. This is historical nonsense.
this is
but
not
Why do you keep telling me historical nonsense?
Because I'm
you keep
telling you.
leading me down a path.
She
you
starts
go,
to believe
I'm going to
everything.
tell you this.
didn't I tell you
and
I'm
then
a
you
folklorist?
Another dividing story is, is that it's actually English. Now, in 1610, one of the first commercial outfits in Newfoundland was a plantation over, I don't know, 45
There was a
kilometers that
plantation
way.
here?
There are plantations all, several.
What did they grow? Sugar?
They were just planted, that's all. They were fishing communities, but they were
I
planted,
see.
so they were
Okay.
called plantations.
All right. Okay.
And it was run by John Guy. And so around the same time, about 10 years later, there was another plantation about, 40 or 50 miles that way.
Yeah.
And people said this was the line that divided the two. So it was the Guy Divide. This Guy Divide is what led to people pronouncing it Quai-Divida in the late 19th century.
Okay, now we're getting
And they,
somewhere.
they
He's
caught
going to
on.
say this.
He's going to say
He's
that's
gonna
not
say
true
that's
either.
nonsense.
Historical nonsense.
There you go. I knew it.
Somebody
All
wants
right.
to tell us the
Now-
truth.
Now I'll tell you what's probably the real reason, because this is what you asked.
All right.
The
Yes.
real reason
Okay,
why
now
it's
we will-
Kitty Vitty.
Okay.
Almost one of the great name scholars in Newfoundland was a guy 50 years ago, Siri was his name, Ron Siri. And he said that Kitty Vitty had more spellings in the historical documents than almost any other name in Newfoundland. He counted something like 40. I think there are a few more than that.
Wow.
So 40 different spellings. Most of them begin with QU, even though people were clearly pronouncing it K. He had a theory, and he's probably right, that this was a fishing premises, a plantation as it were, a room, as people say, belonging to the Channel Island family, Keteville or Ketevilla.
okay.
And when people called this Ketevilla's room,
Yeah.
then, and people started getting confused quite early, Ketevilla village even, because it became, Keteville, and that eventually grew into something like Kitty Vitty. And some of the earlier spellings have those L's, but they seem to be a holdover from the name Ketevilla. So this is probably named for the French Channel Island family, Keteville or Kedville.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting really thirsty.
Yeah,
I've been sitting in this brewery.
beer.
Thank
Bring
you
it
so
on.
much, Philip. That was awesome. You're a very knowledgeable man. Much
I make
more
it
than
all
me.
up.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I like that about you too. Yeah. All right. Good. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
A variation of color. Isn't that beautiful?
Kitty Vitty.
You got it.
You got
Kitty
it.
Vitty. Right.
Cheers, Mama.
Cheers.
That was one amazing day.
Yeah.
I
that
had
really
such a
was.
good time. And I can tell you right now,
Yeah.
you are not driving.
Oh. Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, you're not driving either.
No, we're walking.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how to get back?
The van will be fine here.
All right. Well,
That's so
my
cool.
kitty bitty.